Low impact and full body toning, legs together. Well, you don't have to like have them smushed together. If you want them a little bit apart, that's just fine. Belly to spine. We are starting with our little shimmy shake. Okay, so I have my little swing machine, right, that I told you guys that I use. You lay down, you put the backs of your heels on this little machine that takes your legs and does this, and it can go really slow or you can speed it up where it's like making your whole body like jiggle. So take that little piece of information, and then you know how I love to share with you that I was scrolling on Instagram, and I came across this little blurb, and the woman was taking a guided like lymphatic stimulation. That was like the caption, lymphatic stimulation. And what do you think she's doing? They're on the floor, kind of pounding the backs of the legs to the floor. Now, I had just done that in my class, Tuesday morning's class the other day. And prior to seeing this, because, you know, I believe in the shaking, the jiggling, the vibration. And I just thought, these people have got nothing on me, is what I thought. And it brought a smile to my face. So your shake should be gentle. You might even feel like things are like, you know, coming up and down, lifting too high. I want you to go fast enough where you feel comfortable, but yet you're still, how do I say this? We're a little bit soft-kneed, right? So you're not actually doing a calf raise, but you're still contracting glutes, even though you're soft-kneed, and you're pulling your belly in without transferring tension up to the neck and shoulders. So you just get to let your limbs hang. We're going to get a good 2 minutes of this. We got to already be close to 2 minutes. Keep trying to zip hip bones up to the waistline, buns in full pelvic tilt. You can go as fast as you want. And I have introduced to you technique called accelerate, decelerate. We can apply that to every single thing that we do. Your accelerated phase takes a lot more work out of your body. And some gyms actually have this vibrating plate, and it's called a power plate. And you get on and literally it just jiggles you. And there are release and relax. There are the old school gym rats. Do you have your little towels or paper plates handy, or Tupperware lids handy, or nothing? You're just going to try to do a step touch. If you've got your little rags, I want you to bend your leg, push with the ankle and the heel connection. So often when I'm in class and I put my eyes on people, what I see is that they let the trailing leg be lazy. Okay, so I want you to think about that. We have a fixation to what our dominant leg is doing, and we forget that the other part has the same job to stay in its downloaded press, right? So when the first leg slides, you have to also check in with the second leg heel connection. And here's why it's important. The initiating leg is in hip abduction. The trailing leg is in hip adduction. So we don't want the focus to just be on the one side that's moving away. We want to get both legs, right? Outer on one leg, inner on the other, and then it switches. This is what helps to keep our balance with our body. So here you go. Ankle and hip, ankle and hip, ankle, hip, and heel, draw in, ankle, hip, and heel, draw in. Tell yourself draw in, because as you draw in, you'll be like, wow, that muscle really is doing something. Pull, 10. And if you're doing step touches, you don't have the same focus on the push down because you're getting no traction or no friction, right, from the floor. 5 more, 4, 3. This is such a fabulous way to warm up, release, and relax. Okay, do you have your pillow? We may use those again, but just get them out of your way initially. So low impact and toning, the little shaky shake that we did, we probably did 3 minutes of it. Combine with that, and now going into our pillow steps or just marching feet, whatever you feel like your body's up for today. I want you to feel like your heart rate is coming up and that it feels good. It feels good for your body to feel like it's alive and doing something, right? If you've already got like some of your sensory awareness to your shoulders, hips, and knees, maybe you feel tight across your low back, you're trying to figure out, gosh, it's the first thing in the morning, right? If you're taking this live, it's the first thing in the morning. Why are my parts already like slightly protesting? If your body's in protest mode, do less. Be prepared to sit out on part of the exercises and just jump in whenever you feel like you're looking at something that seems like you can do. Switch legs. That was at least 15. Right. Here we go. Belly to spine, shoulders out of the ears, broad from right to left. I had some very interesting exchanges with people yesterday. So much so that I thought, is it a full moon? Except I knew that we had just had the full moon last week. But I thought, you know, when the full moon's out, like strange things happen. But it was a little delayed. So I saw some people yesterday. I saw one person yesterday twice, and in different places where I wouldn't expect to see somebody. Go back to leg number 1, step tap up. And these are people that I know from the gym. And I've known them for years, except, you know, they're in their late 20s. And, you know, so I've literally known them since they were just teens. 2 independent things that happened. We both like switched to the other side, and they were like, how is it that you, in all these years, you just keep maintaining, like you don't change? Now, part of me, I mean, I was very pleased to hear that, because I feel like I do a pretty good job with high level consistency. And I thought, okay, it is noticeable. So sometimes when we take, you're going to alternate now, okay? Sometimes when we take stock of ourselves, because we're so used to seeing ourselves, right? We can be highly critical, but yet the people who see you, right, see you very differently than you see yourself. So I took the exchanges as very positive and very reaffirming to me that the path that I'm on is keeping me at this level of there's always room for improvement. If I was willing to diet down, right, it would actually, get ready, step up, stay up, march. What I know is that I could shed some body fat. We're not talking about pounds, right? Because we don't need to talk about weight. Turn yourself around, look down, since you're working on a pillow. And if you're not working on a pillow, don't worry about it, but you're just marching your feet. You're going to get all the way around. Once you make your way all the way around, which should take you about 8 to 10 marches, if you're someone who likes to count, right? Stay here, unwind yourself, let your brain stabilize, go around the other way. When we take stock of ourselves, sometimes we can actually be really disappointed if we're not meeting what we think is the goal, that this ambiguous goal that you're just like, I just want to look better. Like, that's very broad, right? Come to a stop. So my pillow never stays in place. I'm going to position it, because now we're going to be laterally crossing our object. All right. So all that means up, off. Right. So I spend time having these same thoughts in my mind, but then realizing that I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm doing a level of commitment to this long-term objective that I have with myself that allows me to live a life without too many restrictions. You see, I don't want to feel like I'm in a restricted state. The exercise that I do for myself feels good. My eating plan that I do for myself feels very inclusive. Stay on this side. And so, though I could shred a couple percent of body fat, abduct, the quality of my life would then deteriorate to a point, because I would feel very restricted. Crossover, right? On your laterals here, you may have to check in with the stepping leg so that you're hitting the mark correctly and not half off stepping off your pillow. And just to reiterate, your abducting leg is a controlled sweep away from the body, not this power leg. So that's why I'm not springy, right? I'm not doing this because I want to be, this is so popular in aerobics, right? You see people in class and they're like going like this, and all the while they're doing it wrong. So there are times when we want to generate energy to increase tempo, and this is one of them where it's so crossover, right? Do one abduction, walk the crossover, one side leg raise. When things have a little more complexity to them, you need to slow it down so that you can maintain all the elements of your clean line. You're going to finish on the other side, pull it away, walk, do one more. This is it. Pull it away, push and release, right? So the thing about goal setting, do you have your little core twisty board? If you don't have your core twisty board, but you have your hula hoop, right? Maybe you're like, I don't have either of those things. Can you just bend your legs and drive your hips around from side to side, right? You could do that. You can march in place. You could do a light jog, right? You could just put your feet and get back into the bouncing that we initially did. All right, so I'm going to check in. We're going to try to do this for a minute, right? If you're opting for stiff legs, I'm okay with that. It's just a little bit harder. It feels like you've got to like it makes me grit my teeth and put tension in my body. Right now, I probably grit my teeth too much when I sleep. So I don't want to be in super tense mode. I want to let my body feel like it's fluid, push, pull, because I know just to get around from side to side, there's a great amount of workload happening, even though this feels really playful to me. Push, pull. The faster I go, I can still keep my legs bent. It is an immediate abdominal engagement. So if you ever do twisties, but you don't feel your abs, might I suggest that you pull your navel into your body. It has nothing to do with you holding your breath. It is your abdominal wall internally drawing in. That's the technical term of it is the abdominal draw in. Draw it in without you raising your shoulders and holding your breath, right? Pull it in. That's why most people are not successful with abdominal work, is because they don't know how to breathe and they don't know how to draw in. It's release and relax. Stop. Put your hands on your abdomen. Feel when you inhale, feel your abdominal wall expand a little bit without your shoulders spiking up. It's hard, right? Because we go around tensed all day. Now, pull the belly in, snatch it, snatch it in, snatch it, pull. And maybe if you're still staring at the screen, I want you to look at your own hands. I want you to look at the diaphragm, extend, pull it in, extend, pull it in. And now, can you pull in from the lower belly too? Pull. Guess what has to happen? It's like the abdominal wall has to do a little wave. Initially, the upper abs, it's all one long muscle, but for our sake of discussion, the higher abdominals pull in first, and then in order to get the rest of it to cinch in, you have to stay with the thought of draw in, because it takes longer to get to the lower part just below the belly button. So feel your hands extend. You're only going to do 2 more. Start drawing in upper, keep squeezing, and see if you can feel from the navel kind of tip up into the body, and release. Do 1 more. Pull, 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 pull. I'm not even squeezing my buns harder to get the lowers. Release and relax. We will be using that again, or the hula hoop. Excuse me, I'm going to try hula. Okay, so instead of just standing there doing nothing for 30 seconds as your heart rate came back down, we went into that abdominal draw-in. So now we're going to get the heart rate back up, right? Tap the leg out, tap, tap, tap. Do your shoulders feel good enough for you to sweep front and side? Does it matter which way your hands are going? More often than not, I say yes, right? But I want you to just feel like your body is moving rhythmically. You're not having to put too much effort. You're just allowing the limbs to lengthen. And if for some reason you need to shorten your lever, right, then put fingers on shoulders and let your elbows do the up. You get to decide. And if you want bigger movement, right, it's going to take you a smidgen longer, but you can go as full of a movement as you want. I'm going to turn to the side to show you something. There is something ever present in the body line, and that is athletic ready. You keep going. I'm going to stop. Athletic ready means that your spine has got a little bit of tension to it, so that if you needed to change directions quickly, you wouldn't be like here with your body like all slack. It's poised and ready to go, right? So if I'm not in tempo with you, I'm sorry, you're going to do 4 more. The whole point of that was chest is up, hips are back as if you're doing a squat. And 3, pull. 2, 1 more. Release and relax. Knees here. Pull it up, pull. You're going to get yourself into this knee lift. 5 more. Prepare the mind. I want you to get ready to stop on this next leg lift. Release. I fell out of it. Hopefully you didn't. If your body went right along with mine, then you fell out of it. Get ready. Go to high leg lifts. Tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be pulling my other leg up. I'm going to stop. 4, 3, 2, stop. Belly to spine. Back to high legs. All right, shake it out. The other leg. 4, 3, get ready. Pull, pause. March, 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 march. From your march. So now, though the leg march is lower, it's faster, which is actually harder to control the stop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. March, 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 march. Why do I do this? It's focus. Hold, keep going. Look down at the floor, because if you look at the screen, what I'm doing may throw you off. Look down. 5, 4, 3, 2, stop. Go. So now I'm not going to count anymore. I just want you to randomly, I use odd numbers because that gets me doing the alternating leg. Okay. So just know you're trying to stop and make sure that it's an alternating knee, right? So we got same leg. We're not continuing to work the same leg all the time. Pick your stop position and go. Restart. Pick your stop position and go for it. Restart. One more to each side. Take it up. Go. Here we go. Figure it out. Release and relax. Back to step touch. Just a few of these double step touches, 2 times, 2, 1 and 2, 2 times, 1, 2. And now, since we've got all of this time here, your legs have a little spring to them. If you're really like flat foot and stiff legs, you're not going to feel your knees be springy or your ankles. You can stay as scaled back and as stiff-bodied as you like, but it feels better to me because my knees, hips, ankles, nothing is kicked off in a bad way, right? Here we go. You're just a little springy, springy, springy. Can we add, oh Lord, to the end of this, can we add, stay in your double step touch because I need to show you. Okay, here we go. Can you add it? Punch, 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 double touch. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Punch, punch, punch. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Double touch. Punch it out. Punch, punch. Okay, so don't worry about if you're in rhythm with me, right? You're just trying to punch a couple of times and then go double touch, punch a couple times, because there's a whole bunch of words in order to get you in rhythm with me. Okay, get ready. You're going to double touch over, and you can only do it from one position, right? You got to close, double touch. Yikes. The body's like, how do I combine these two things and still find some rhythm? For some of us, it's not rhythmic. It's like your leg gets, don't stop. From this position to the step touch position, the body like fights it because they look the same, but they're not, right? All right, double touch, right? So once you get going in one position, it's hard to shift positions. That's part of your brain tease. Oh Lord, right? You've got one more to each side. It doesn't matter to me if you switching or not, or you found another way to make it rhythmic for yourself. This is it. Release and relax. The whole purpose of that was to just get you to feel like your heart rate was coming up, not to frustrate you. So you grab your next gadget. Your gadget could be that you want to incorporate the ball drop catch with your light little jog. Maybe you want that. If you don't want hula hooping or your twisty, it's been a while since I hooped. Here we go. Pull it around, pull it around. Oh, okay. Getting back to goals. Do you always have to have a goal? Could it be that the goal is just like, I want to do 2 classes a week? Could it be the goal is, man, I know I don't get enough water. I want to figure out, right, how much water I'm supposed to be drinking a day. And then I want to get the container that holds that amount so that I have this visual reference that every single day for every cup of water, I take it from this one container to make sure that by the end of the day, reverse whatever you're doing or change movements for the next little thing, okay? So what is your goal? Is your goal that you need to take some vitamins or some type of supplement that you know you need, but you're not actually consistent with it? Like, goals don't always have to be this, the physical thing of what's happening to our body. If you know that you don't get enough sleep, maybe you're not a good sleeper, right? Maybe the goal is to figure out, how do I help myself with that pattern, release and relax? If you're a very high-strung person, maybe the goal is, I need to incorporate a little meditation into my, it's hard to even say day. If there's something that you know that you would benefit from, it's hard to say, I need to do that. My goal is for me to do that every day, because even that, though it seems simple, is hard to attain. Why not do it once this week? Right? What is the thing that's holding us up? I don't know. Maybe you're like, I'm perfectly content with that. Right? I'm perfectly content. Maybe it's a goal that has nothing to do with your physicality. It has something to do, me personally, right? I have gotten out of writing stuff down. So, can you go back to your glides? Okay. And what I mean by that is, in my process of trying to not have stuff of mine everywhere, I kind of gathered it all up and I've stuck it into cupboards. I am a messy Marvin, and sometimes I look around and I'm like, how is it that I've got drop zones like multiple places? And so I've gone through, I've cleaned up my drop zone, come to a stop. I'm shimmying back because I can't do this on the rug. All right. I mean, I could do it on the rug, but I like the feel of the towel. So bend your legs. One leg is going to push forward and then it's going to come around. Stand up. So I could do this on the rug. Bend your legs. What does this look like? You're like, it's a squat. You're right. Load the dominant leg so that the other leg can push forward. Circle around, bring it through, stand up, squeeze the buns. I am giving you, bend the legs, one leg forward, sweep around. Instead of doing 20 reps repeating squat, we're adding a little bit something extra. Squat. This puts you in a dominant single leg stance. It makes you have to balance and add another element of your movement. Push, squat, reach, pull it around, stand up, squat, reach, the arms mimic, squeeze, reach, leg, push, open, pull it through. Completion is here. Like, is it completion or start? I don't know. I think the start is here. All right. Sweep, 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 pull it around, stand up, squeeze. One more each side. Reach, open, open, get it around, fight for it, pull it around, stand up, squeeze. This is your last one. Reach, open, pull it up, release and relax. So I used to have little notebooks with a pen in multiple places. And then the other day it dawned on me, I'm like, I don't ever write anything down anymore. Like I used to, like thoughts would come to mind, like write it down. Not that I did anything with them, but it allowed me to like get them out of my mind. Go to light weights. Because I thought, you know, at some point, those thoughts, like there may be some way for me to compile those thoughts to have something interesting. Because you know what I think a lot about, right? Our bodies, techniques, styles, methods. What is measurable progress? Maybe all one-sided thought process. But so I've taken my notebooks out. I'm going to like get back into, I don't want it to be a habit. Sorry, I ripped the Band-Aid off. The things that I want to consider as productive progress. I do not want the label of habit. I want it to be my ritual. All right. So these things that I do with you, right? They're not habits. I don't exercise out of habit. I exercise out of ritual and discipline. The ritual allows me to feel powerful and successfully completing something. Often when I think of the word habit, I think of the word in a derogatory sense. So I don't want the things that I do that I value to be put in habit form. Up, open, down. Thumbs are up. If you've got a crabby shoulder, don't do that arm. Your palms start. So are you holding 2 or 3 pound dumbbells? Maybe it's a 1 pound water bottle or a soup can, right? Anything more than that may be too much. 4 pounders would be pushing it. 5 pounders, you would be okay for part of the movement, but the other part of the movement right about here would be too much. Bring it down, turning the palms in. The palms stay in so that the thumbs are up on the forward reach. Squeeze the buns. Push the arms open. And as you push the arms open, what should be happening to your upper middle back is that your wings are squeezing back, right? And down. So if you open up and your arms go way back behind you, that's too far. You want the squeeze to happen because you're controlling the muscles, not because you're floating your arms beyond the body line. Jeez, right? Forward. Squeeze the shoulders and back to the aspect. If you have a shoulder that is not enjoying this, then only work the good side. Forward reach, pull the belly in, use the shoulder glide back, start feeling your wings tuck in, turn the hands down. Wow. All I have here, 2 little pounds, and I feel it. Open it up, open it up, open it up, belly to spine, shoulders out of the ears, activate, turn the hands down. Uh-oh. You already released it, didn't you? Put them back up. And pulse. Lower the arms just a little bit. Every time you pulse, lower the arm a little bit more. Right? Forward raise. Open it up. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Belly to spine. Stand tall. Turn the hands, palms down. Lengthen. Pulse. Take the tension out of your neck. Every pulse, get your arms a little bit lower. Keep squeezing. Last one. Lift. Open. Shoulder blades, belly to spine. Stand strong. Pull your neck back. Turn the hands, palms down. Pulse. Each little pulse gets you lower. And release. Okay. So now we swivel. Tuck your arms in. Push, pull, push, pull, push. The arm that is tucked in, seemingly doing nothing while the other arm is in motion, you are now going to, watch it, the arms have this yin and yang. So as the forward reaching arm pushes, the other arm is in pullback mode, right? Swiveling. So they're both in motion with your swivel. You do not have a resting arm. You have a transitioning arm sliding along this imaginary shelf. The elbow does not need to be high. The neck is long. You're squeezing your upper middle back muscles, push, and you're getting this phenomenal 180-degree rotation. And I hope that the bun on the trailing leg is squeezing. Push, pull. 5, 4, 3, long body parts, and release. This is my universal weight. I have not only a universal weight, a 2 pounds. I have a universal band, the red band that I use. Okay, so today we're just using your universal weight. Push it up. We are going to do 10 reps. Okay, again, if you have a bum shoulder, do the good arm, and maybe you use your free hand to support the working arm elbow. All right, but if both arms can do this, what you're trying to avoid is this. You're trying to avoid this flayed out elbow line. Squeeze them in. Even if the elbows are sitting a little bit forward, I would rather they be forward of your ears, right, than wider than your body. So think belly to spine, reach it up, bend it back. And here's if you had a mirror. Okay. The beauty is I'm pulling my hands, palms together and folding it back. And I bend my arms so much that my dumbbells disappear behind my head. That's where your mirror would come in handy, right? You'd be like, okay, I'm still seeing my hands, bend it, bend it, bend it, bend it, bend it, push. And on the up, I'm allowing, we've got to be that 10, okay? I'm allowing the separation of the hands so that my arms can get fully extended. One more. Release. Just holding your arms up for that long, even if we weren't doing anything with them. Movement number 2, chamber the elbows back, put yourself into hip hinge, squeeze the shoulders back, get around this body mass fat. I hate to say that, right? It's body mass. Here we go. Push. You're in crouched position. Squeeze the knees together. Try not to hang the head. And if you're facing the screen, looking at me like this, turn yourself quarter turn, look like this, or better yet, go, okay, I feel like that's probably what I'm doing. Then turn your head and look down at the floor without letting your head hang. Your goal is to keep pulling your shoulders out of your ears. Even if your shoulders creep back up, every time you extend your arms, lengthen them. Teach yourself the feeling of, oh, I'm jammed up in my neck, to, oh, I have freedom. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Pump the legs, bend, extend. Your body still staying at hip hinge. Bend, extend. 4, push. 3, push. Here we go. One more. And release, relax. You're done with those. Wow. Grab your chair. So my little 2-pound weights, I put them on my legs when I'm doing my own practice out on the dock. Use those little 2-pounders. I do ab work with them, inner thighs. I don't generally lay on my side with weights and do hip abduction that way, but I do lay on my back and do inner thighs with them. Okay. You don't need your weight. You just need good control. Support. We're going to work the back, and the back of the leg. So we could do this kneeling. If you, just for the sake of showing, okay, if you feel like this is just too much work, and it's okay for you to be on your hands and knees or even your elbows and knees because your wrists and your upper body feels fatigued, you can do this movement here on elbows and knees if you feel like you just want to take some of the effort out. This is harder to do from this position because look how big of a range of motion the leg gets. And then so much more of you is active as your spine's in tabletop. And from a balance standpoint, this is harder. So here we go. Push. The head has a tendency to forget that it is part of your body line. So as your head may be hanging, I need for you to take the back of your head and your neck and pull your chin towards your chest, but then slide the neck up to its proper position. It's like really hard to know where that is on yourself without your mirror, right? You want to eliminate the lifted, tipped up head, and you want to be neutral. So no saggy hanging head and no rocked up head. Somewhere between those two spots is neutral. Shoulders out of the ears. Wow, it should already be happening. Switch legs. Here we go. Shoulders out of the ears, the strong arms. So believe it or not, you just pushing yourself away from your chair is firing up your triceps. And now your shoulder stabilizers are active just to keep your body line. Like, this is why I don't have to spend time in the gym using machines, because I have control of my parts and I can activate my parts at my command. So I get much more work done here than sitting on any machine counting 15 reps of something. This is full body engagement. Okay. And that's why I opt for this type of training. Now, could I compete with somebody on leg press? No. Why? Because I don't do leg presses, but yet I know I'm strong. I can plyometric. I can run fast, right? There are things that I want my body to be able to do. And my measurement of my strength has nothing to do with me being able to move weight in the gym. It has everything to do with my performance outside of the gym, right? Shoulders out of the ears. Some people, all they do is go to the gym, but they never take release and relax. They never take their fitness outside of the gym and see how relative, what are you doing in the gym that translates to, can you run? Can you cycle? Can you play sports? Like, what can you do? What is your gym fitness good for if you don't actually find a way to apply it? That's my judgment for me. Some people are like, I go to the gym because that's my release. That's all they have time for. They're not at the same stage where I am. So it's not me to discourage somebody out of gym training. It's me going, for me personally, I've done so much training in the gym over my decades, right? You're done with your chair. And not only that, because of the training, the personal training that I still do, I spend a significant amount of time in the gym and I get to watch people. I can't help but to watch. Like, you just can't help but to see things. And I just wonder, where are people learning how to do some of the things that I see them do in the gym? Because it baffles me. Come on down. Sideline. As I say that, it makes me feel like I'm critical. And it's not that. My younger me, come down. All right. I want you to think abdominal muscle. This is not your traditional feet on the floor, legs bent crunch. This is you starting from a sideline position. Your head is very heavy. So you're going to take your hands. If you can, interlace them, wrap them around the head, not your neck. Your hands do no good wrapped around your neck. They need to be around the curve of your head. And now, if your hands are in the right spot, you're going to twist your body, upper body, and you're going to try to get your elbows to point up to the ceiling. One elbow is not going to have any trouble pointing up to the ceiling, right? It's the bottom elbow. That's the one you're going to try to go, oh, okay. And now, the movement is so small. Just take your head from the floor, feel the head stabilize because your hands are supporting your heavy head, and try to get that bottom shoulder a little bit up. Okay, so pull, pull. Use enough support with your hands so that you don't feel strain. But yet, if your chin is rocking to your chest and then back away from your head, right? So rocking from the chest to the floor, then that means you're pulling on your head instead of using your phenomenal abdominals. So do about 10 more. 10. You should feel like it's a slightly awkward move where it's like you want to go a little bit higher, but yet you can't because the muscle, the body just won't get there. 3, 2, and release. Other side. I was going somewhere with my thought seems a little critical when I think about what I get to see in the gym, right? Because I know that when people walk into the gym, they're not intentionally trying to do something wrong. I'm just always surprised at how the body, it doesn't matter what age of person, the body gravitates to wrong methods, right? And then it makes me wonder, well, if I've heard the story that there are no wrong moves, just moves that the body hasn't been prepared for, right? Like there's like a slight little conflict with going, okay, well, if I'm measuring execution of a movement based on angles and what I've developed over the years as that sight line that I'm looking to see the body get into to be a good move or not, maybe I've got it all wrong, right? Pull. But in my exchange, I told you I had 2 exchanges yesterday, right? Both of these exchanges were with younger people, 20-ish years younger than I am, and they see what I do. They're my friends, but they joke about the type of my workout, not in a disrespectful way, but in this funny way where I'm, like, hey, Michelle, we need to start your rubber band training because, like we need something new to our program. And we have a good laugh about it. But the serious side of it, do 2 more, is that they actually do release and relax. They do need to start my rubber band training program because I look at them and I'm like, your bodies are so tight. Like you're so limited. You're so limited. So one of the kids, he knows I play pickleball. We're setting ourselves back. Think QL. Okay. We're going to be using our mat as our runway. Get yourself going forward. Try to pick up the entire leg. Push the foot forward. If the leg fights and you get cramping through the quad, then you can just keep the foot on the floor and do like a modified version, but it is more engaging to have to lift the entire leg. Abs are working and your QL muscles. Your body's like in a little coordinated motion here. Forward mush, 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 mush. Anyway, so the young man comes in and he says, back it up. He says, you know, I'd win if we played pickleball together. And I'm like, you're so full of talk. Like you will never beat me. Push forward. Anyway, now chances are he might be able to beat me, but like that's how sure I am. Back it up. Like I would be surprised if we got on the court and he beat me. And he just finds it so funny that I'm so confident because I'm so much older than him. How could I even think that I could beat him? One more time forward. It's just funny, right? Confidence, competence, push, pull, release and relax. But that's the thing is, as much as I spend time evaluating other people, I also know, come to your side, that I do not escape the same visual observation of others. So when people see me training other people in the gym, they're there's a questionable aspect to it too, because what I do is so vastly different than what they do for themselves or what they see anybody else do. So that's what I think is this interesting perspective, this take on things, right? I know that I get as much scrutiny and observation as I give. Take your top leg, toes down. The bottom leg is going to be the worker, and it will take you a couple of seconds to get cleanly on your side body, your heavy head. Either use your arm to support it or get that pillow wrapped up there the right way. I'm going to have my arm in a support mode. Okay, so now your top foot is kind of creating a brace for you. Extend the bottom leg, lift, lift. Say, by golly, feels like we're working this muscle all along the inside. You are. Lift. If your head is kind of chin tucked and you're looking through this space between this high leg and you see your bottom leg creeping forward, move that leg back. You want it to be straight down from the hip. We don't want it at a forward angle. Push it back, and there's a reason why. When the leg is pushed back, you're firing up part of your glute in addition to the adductor. 5, 4, 3, 2, release, relax, push up. The action of you getting up, right? Little tricep and shoulder work. You're like, oh, you're right. That feels good. Push up, do 5 more. And if you're like, I don't want any more, then just swivel around to the other side. 2, 3, 4, just like that. Push and hold. 5, swing it around. So I told you a while back that I started, when I mean a while back, it's been, I don't know, 6 weeks maybe. I started a client who has she has a function that she reached out to me. She's like, I got this function. I want to really like dial in and get like, be the best that I can be for this function. And then she's like, well, she's like, you know what I mean? She's like, I always want to be my best, but like particularly this, because there's going to be pictures. Head, get yourself supported. Take your bottom leg. Try to keep it long and slightly pulled back. Can you pinch your bun, right? So lengthen the leg, push it back a little bit, and then try to pelvic tilt. And now, if that's not too like going, oh man, that's a lot to manage, lift from that pulled back pelvic tilted position. It's hard. Stay focused, right? So she's like, okay, each session, she's giving me more information about her dress. And she's like, she's like, it's strapless. And so she's like, I want my arms and my upper back to look really good. And she's like, I don't care about the rest of it because it's going to be under the dress. And you all know, like, I don't really do like that whole spot reduction thing. But we've been doing full body, and she's trained all of her life, release and relax. So we're doing stuff that she's just not used to doing. And her brain, like every session, she just shakes her head and goes, she's like, it is just like a brain workout. She's like, I feel like my muscles are doing it, but I'm never sore, which I'm like, yay, because that means we can come back and do it again tomorrow, push up. But she's like, my brain really is trying to process all of what you were doing here. Push, push, push into the floor, shoulders out of the ears. And that is music to my ears, because she is the CEO of a company and she's got a lot on her plate, right? So if I don't give her hard brain stuff, then I don't even have her attention in session. She's already at work in a meeting. Pull, sweep the arms. So when she says to me, our workouts are like a brain workout, right? I'm like, yay, that's part of your de-stressing. If you can, slide the hands, or it might not even be smooth. Just let them work forward to come out of it. Sweep the arms around, pick up your chest, bend the arms, pull your wings into you, hands on the mat. And then keep squeezing the elbows into you while you let the arms load. Oh, come down a little bit so that you can then slide forward, sweep, pick up. This is your last one. Squeezing the shoulder blades, tucking your wings. The hands are right along the edges of the mat. Slide them forward a little bit. Load to cobra. Oh, shoulders out of the ears. For example, if your hips were way off the floor, you would be in too much extension. You're actually not really getting the benefit of the stretch. So you have to figure out, where do your arms, hands need to be loaded so that your abdomen is still on the floor. This is one of the top movements for relieving back stress. Believe it, right here. If you did nothing else, when you feel tension in your back, try to get in. You wouldn't start with full cobra. Let's go down to modified. If you ever feel like your back is fatigued, the best place to take yourself is on the floor. And instead of laying on your back and tucking your knees to your chest, which you would think, you push away from the floor. And if there's no protest, then you try to get a little bit further into the push. Just like that. And if you spent 30, 60 seconds there, right? You came out of it. We're going to come out of it. Go into your cat back stretch. Come back gingerly. Because, you know, as great as that is for your back, it's an odd thing because it will feel like you've just created some pressure back there. It's like counterintuitive. So from your cat back, chin to chest, push the hands against the floor, press the tops of the feet to the floor, draw your chin to your chest, arch your spine. And now into downward dog, stand up, right? Spread the knees, push up, push up. Don't be in a rush. Keep your legs as bent as you need, but try to press your heels to the floor. Is that a challenge? Right? What do the ankles and knees want to do when you try to press the feet to the floor? If you can do this stiff-legged, even better. But it is a different stretch if you soften your knees and you try to pull the knees and ankles into their anatomically correct load. And now walk the hands back. Don't be in a rush. Get your body weight foot loaded so that you can roll up with confidence that you're in a balanced, controlled state. Lift and breathe. Release and relax. You have successfully completed this portion of your day. I swear I'm going to have that on a shirt. I need to hashtag that, don't I? Okay, I actually am going to go and hashtag that.